We had a holiday mixer today. All the normal trappings, the little Chex Mix and beer. No, not really. It was donuts and coffee. It was a morning mixer at Globe Life Field as we got to meet some for the first time, the Rangers' new coaches. Let's talk about that next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast. So there obviously is the new manager and the two sort of primary assistant coaches, the offensive and defensive coordinator, if you will. That is Justin Veely on the right, and of course Jordan Teagues on the left. So a very good day for us to get a chance to not only meet some of them, but to meet just talk to and get to know better others. But John Radigan, Jeff Wilson, DLLS Rangers podcast with the Queen Cat here. And I'll be honest, Jeff, I was obviously kidding about the Chex Mix and stuff, but I'm not a big donut guy.
Yeah,
I would have preferred Chex Mix.
I like donuts.
Did you have any?
No, I just saw that like the Danishes.
Is that what they were
over
there?
I'm not a big Danish guy. I like cinnamon rolls and donuts.
Not a big I'll crush what are they called? I'll crush a Krispy Kreme glazed donut.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I bet I could eat 20 of those.
Really? Yeah. Those are so good. But you can't eat 20. I mean, you could eat 20, but I remember asking a lady one time who was from the South when Krispy Kreme first came to this market. And I said to her, and she knew them from growing up, I'm like, oh my God, why are these so good? And she said, I don't want to tell you. Like, go ahead, tell me why. Why? Lard. Great, good. I'm eating lard.
Lard makes everything better.
It makes everything better. So, anyway, no lard aces or asses among the Rangers' new coaching staff. Man, this is a fit and a relatively young group of men.
Yeah. The two more prominent coaches last year, the manager Bruce Bochy turned 70, and Mike Maddox, the former pitching coach, is 62 or 63.
Yeah,
so right there, you're shaving a lot of years off of the average age. They all seem excited to be there. Ready to get to work and get to know each other. The holdovers and the new guys. And they actually even showed up to this thing early.
Yes,
I walked into the room at about 9:45 and. A couple minutes later, they started trickling in. It's good to get to know the new guys. Talk to Jordan and Justin, who were overshadowed the last couple of years. Justin, I guess just last year, but Donnie Ecker brought Justin in, good buddies, and but Donnie was the guy, and then rather than elevate Justin, Chris Young brought in Brett Boone, and Brett Boone is a big personality, and Brett did all the talking.
He did,
and talked to Justin today. It was very nice. And then I've known Jordan for years because he was the Rangers, in the minor leagues. He was their pitching coordinator. Had a lot of in-depth talks about a lot of guys who are now on the major league roster, and he's a straight shooter. He is from Canada, lives in Arizona. But he, if you listen to him long enough, you'll pick up some of the, little things you hear, like during a hockey interview. Like he does say organization.
Sure.
And he doesn't call the jerseys a sweater, but
okay. And he doesn't like donuts. Up there, they just call them Timmy's.
Oh, really?
Right? Well, Tim Horton.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're Timmy's. Yeah, are you going to get some Timmy's?
Well, he's been America'd up. He lives in Arizona.
Okay.
Near the complex, actually. So. But anyway, I mean, he has big shoes to fill. He's filling in for a guy who Skip Schumacher himself said is like one of the best pitching coaches in baseball history.
Yeah.
A lot of eyes will be on the hitting coaches because of how bad the offense was the past 2 years. And now you have Justin Veely, Alex Cintrone, who I was able to talk to. He's a newcomer from the Astros. He has some interesting things to say. And then Eric Dorton, who's been in the minor leagues for a while, and I've seen for years at spring training, but never had a chance to really get to know. And of course, as Leon mentions, Travis Jankowski, he was there with all of his hair and ready to move on to the next phase of his life.
His hair and his radiant smile, and and when we talked to Skip, he said, "Well, I'll make my remarks quick so you guys can get to the star of the show, Travis Jankowski." And then I don't know if you noticed it, Jeff. They passed each other at the microphone there in front of everybody, and typically when two guys who are friends with each other kind of pass each other in a situation like that, what does one of them do? Act like he's going to swing his arm and hit the other one in the crotch, and that's and that's what Skip did.
They're just like us.
Yeah, that's what Skip did. He walks by and Travis back like that because you don't know, right? In a different scenario,
you can't take the chance.
You can't.
No.
You can't take the chance of getting racked, especially in front of the media and Kennedy and Laura standing there as well. So and girls just don't understand. It's always funny.
I think they've picked it up.
They've probably picked it up, but it's always funny when a guy's down in pain having been racked. And a lot of times women don't understand what's so funny about that. That hurts. Yeah, we know, but it's funny. Anyway, so the relationships are great. Skip also said during the time with him, Colby Suggs, right? Not Corey. Colby Suggs is the only one he has not had, the pleasure of working with, interacting with in some other realm. And, I asked Skip, how long does he expect it to take for the chemistry to be there between this coaching staff, right? So that they're all really, synergistic and synergistic, that is, and just kind of thinking alike and finishing each other's sentences and all that. And he said, it's already starting.
Yeah.
And that has to do, I think, Jeff, with the fact that he has history. Now, we know, obviously, Pipe, who was there last year as the bench coach for Bruce Bochy, and he have that. And then Rod Barajas has that with him, having been with Skip in San Diego and Miami. And, of course, Travis Jankowski has that because Skip was Travis's coach was it in the Cardinals organization?
No, it was with the Padres, and they also were old player, up-and-coming prospect during one spring training. Yeah. We had Skip's last spring training. I think it was 2016. So they've been close for a while.
And I wonder, about Teagues and those guys, is the relationship just based on that he was in the Rangers organization last year?
Yeah. And people think so highly of Jordan for the work that he did with the minor league pitchers, and he's forever linked to Jack Leiter, because when Jack was taken out of action in 23, it was Jack and Jordan.
Yeah, it
was the Jack and Jordan show.
Yeah,
those two spent a lot of time together. But also, Jordan Teagues had to counsel Cole Winn through his struggles at AAA, and he knows Church and Latz, and those are three guys that are going to have
significant,
have a chance to have very big roles on the team. So I think that's a lot of the attraction of making Jordan the guy. And when after Mike Maddox had left, he and I were continuing our dialogue, and I asked him, well, if they go internal, who's your choice? He said, it's Teagues for me. So they built a pretty good relationship in just the 1 year on the same staff.
Yeah, and in Teagues' comments with us, to us, he mentioned unprompted. He mentioned Mike and some of the influences that Mike had on him as a sort of his boss, a co-pitching coach, but truly his boss. Mike was the pitching coach, and Jordan was he the bullpen coach officially?
Bullpen coach, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it seems like that having that relationship, that camaraderie, that friendship, really that almost familial relationship among the coaching staff is a real starting point, Jeff, to having that within the clubhouse, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like the process of making this coaching staff into quote unquote a band of brothers is well underway.
Yeah, and Skip was in his interview with us the day he was introduced, talked about how important it is that he has a trust factor with his coaches.
Yeah,
and I'm if he's bringing back Barajas, that's an indication there. Obviously, he didn't want to make any changes with Pipe and keep him around. And while Skip didn't want to interfere with the clubhouse chemistry and everything last year, he got to know the coaches a little bit and understood Jordan's importance. And again, a lot of guys are fans of Jordan just from the time he's been in the organization, and they respect and know what he can do and like his demeanor and his way of handling the players. And it is some new faces, and we left Tony Beasley out. Tony Beasley's about to be 60, and he's no longer around, replaced by Corey Ragsdale, who is a holdover.
He is.
It's hard to say goodbye to a lot of those guys, but Bobby Wilson, another one.
Yeah.
And Tyler Alexander pointed out yesterday that Bobby Wilson caught his major league debut.
Really?
Yeah. So, and he had been in communication with Bobby for the last couple off seasons, saying, "Hey, I wouldn't mind pitching for the Rangers." And I guess it got a little bit closer last year, and then this year they got it across the finish line without Bobby. But the point is that the manager has to trust his coaches, and Skip feels like he has a group that he can do that with.
Yeah, and again, it's hugely important. And I asked Skip at one point, I said, so, does Jordan Teagues have the hardest job or the easiest job among the coaches? I mean, when you start with Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi, and and then he goes, and Jack Leiter, who, by the second half of the season was among, in the second half was among one of the best pitchers in the game. He said, it's a pretty good place to start. That said, there's a ton of work to do. And he said, and Jordan corroborated, in some ways, it's harder to get these guys to do it again, right? Like you've got to push all the right buttons or pull all the right strings to make sure they're able to be in the best position to do what they did before. And you know what? Even if you do, the chances aren't that great that they're going to be better than they were last year. But that's what everybody wants, and rightly.
Sure.
Right? Everybody wants them to be better than last year.
Well, and theoretically, Jacob deGrom is going to be better.
That's what they want.
And then if you get Nathan Eovaldi to post, some more starts, and Jack Leiter could be able to build on what he did last year. Patrick Corbin faded down the stretch, so you think maybe you can find a replacement for him. Malley for half a season was terrific. Those whatever it was, 17 starts will be tough to replicate. But the overall body with between a number of guys who ended up starting games in his place, you can probably do better. The bullpen, it's going to be tough, no question about it, because you are going to be leaning on some young guys. To answer Benny's question, what are the chances for Curvello and Church making the team out of spring training? Well, Church made it last year. So I think Mark Church, even though he didn't pitch a lot this last season because of injury, has a really good chance. I don't know that Curvello did anything to make the Rangers think he doesn't have a chance to break with the club.
He didn't hurt his chances.
Right.
He didn't necessarily vault his chances either, right? But he didn't hurt him by any means.
Well, a guy who had never pitched in the majors, it was fine. So the questions still remain with where's Latz going to be if he's in the bullpen? It'll be kind of a more of a leverage situation. How good can Alexis Diaz be? That deal's now official. Is Chris Martin going to be able to hold up his deal? As we've come to learn, it's not official, but it's a $4 million contract, but they're deferring half of it.
Yep,
and they're terming it like a signing bonus or some such. So I mean that's a $2 million hit to the cap, or not the cap, but the payroll toward the CBT, which they're not going to approach anyway. So there's still some powder there that they can maybe splurge a little bit. Maybe they can go to $6 million on a pitcher, a reliever. Holy cow! Yeah. Or maybe they just save it for a good starter. But to your point though, and Jordan feels comfortable talking to these guys now. He told me that, he was would go into a team meeting or a meeting with the pitchers with a thought of how Mike Maddox might approach it, and a lot of the times they're thinking matched up, so that gives Jordan a little confidence. But I'm these are the guys that you're going to see pacing in the dugout and visiting the mound. Usually don't see the hitting coaches a lot.
No, I didn't talk to Justin last year.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't.
He was always in the cage.
You don't see him when we're there.
But he'll be out more this year, I would think.
Yeah.
And Alex Cintron,
yeah, good point. Yeah,
might be more in the back along with Jordan. But Alex lives in Houston, and it predated his time with the Astros. And we got to go to break, but we can pick up on that.
Yeah, and let's do that, because the big one we haven't really touched yet is what they're going to do from a hitting perspective, because that's where most of the changes need to happen. So we'll talk about that next, and I will learn with you exactly what Alex Cintron had to say. Jeff talked to him. I didn't get the chance to, so I'll be anxious to hear what he said next. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
It is time to give a shout out to our good friends at Wild Fork Foods, wildforkfoods.com. You can become a member. They have an app, all kinds of ways to get you delicious meat, which we can vouch for,
100%.
Affordable meat, which we can also vouch for, and just an incredible overall shopping experience. Again, we can vouch for it. The people there at Wild Fork Foods, their 9 locations are all knowledgeable in their various cuts of meat, and they have some exotic stuff like kangaroo. They have meats from different parts of the country, especially Brazilian beef, which is very, very good. It's just a perfect place for carnivores to go and get their food. They have perfect things for the holidays. You can get a turkey, you can get a ham, you can get a picanha steak, which is what we traditionally do at the Wilson household. And again, it's at Wild Fork Foods, 9 area locations. Go see them, tell them DLS sent you, and visit wildforkfoods.com.
Yeah, we'd appreciate you doing that. And we want to remind you that homeowners and business owners alike consistently praise Qualis Roofing for their honesty, their follow-through, and perhaps most importantly, their quality workmanship. We're talking about 700 5-star reviews for Qualis Roofing. It's a 4.9 rating on their Google rating service. So Qualis is one of the most trusted roofing companies across North Texas and in Austin. It's based right here in North Texas, though, and it's not one of these fly-by-night places that just runs around pounding on doors. They specialize in roofing, commercial and residential. And if you schedule a free roof inspection now, you get a DLLS t-shirt. If you get your roof from them, you get either a Traeger smoker or a Blackstone grill. How do you beat that? High quality and gifts to boot. That's what happens this time of year. QualisRoofingGC.com. Yeah, well, we are so happy to be here with you, because it was a fun morning for us talking with these assistant coaches, and we've got a couple of questions that you have asked already in the chat starred. And but Kat, what was Kelly Mann's first comment? Way back when Kelly Mann got in, he said he shot. I thought he fired a shot. There it is. He fired a shot across the bow. Happy Thursday, Ranger faithful. At least some of you. I like it.
Very clearly taking a shot at T.O.,
I think maybe. Yeah. I like that. We've got a little angst.
And Tyler Henderson's got the sickness. So do my kids. So Tyler, while I don't feel your pain, my kids sure do. So that sucks.
And Tyler mentioned his steaks that he bought. We saw Tyler at Wild Fork Foods, and he mentioned the steaks that he bought and said some of the best he's ever had and the best price and the best cuts. See, I mean, so there's more validation for what we're talking about with regard to Wild Fork. It's freaking fantastic. So anyway, let's finish the conversation we were having, and then let's get into the hitting.
Okay. I don't remember.
What were we talking about, Kat? Curvello.
No. We were talking about Alex Cintron.
Oh, yeah. We were already into Cintron. Oh, and being in. He lived in Houston previously.
Still lives in Houston. He said he's lived in Houston for 18 years. So he just had a little drive up the road. But yeah, he was talking about how, he's like, He's staying in the division, so he knows the division well, knows the pitchers and all that, which is a big advantage. Also, he talked about how he watched the Rangers hitters last year.
Yeah.
And he said, especially early, he was watching them and just noticing how badly they were struggling. And he said a lot of it was approach. And he was giving the Astros pitchers tips like, hey, this guy's not going to hit your fastball.
Wow.
Or they can't get around on it or
Yeah.
something like that. So he could even see the other teams knew pretty quickly that the offense was a mess, and so now it falls onto him and like we said, Justin and Eric Dorton, and I think Justin's more of a analytics, biometrics, swing mechanics kind of guy, but the thing, and Skip said this too, is that the hitting coaches need to individualize the game plans. And when I talked about that further with Justin, he said, we're not going to turn, and Brett Boone had said this stuff, we're not going to turn Jake Berger from a 10-walk guy to a 50-walk guy.
Mm-mm.
But if you can go from 10 to 17 or 10 to 20, that's a 30%, that's a 50% improvement. But I mean, it would probably change his overall rate by 2%.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 or 3% more walks means 2 or 3% fewer strikeouts.
Yes.
More balls in play. So, and it's like, well, geez, how do you do that? Because you want these guys to be aggressive because that's when they're good. And it's like they need to know when to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And where to be aggressive. And the 1-0 slider off the plate is not a good pitch for Josh Young to swing at. So because then if you get in 2-0, the advantage is in your favor, and you can do a lot of things. But I thought the comment that I most clarified what the approach is he said, if we play a team in a 3-game series and we beat them 3 times, we want to say after the series that we could beat them 3 different ways. So one game it might be home runs, one game it might be drawing 7 or 8 walks, and then one game it might be just doing what the game asks you to do.
And this was Alex who said this.
No, this was Justin.
This was Justin. Yeah, I know. We're going back and forth. And one of the things that Justin talked about, with me is I asked him, is there, the kind of the catchphrase, the buzzword is sort of a philosophical change offensively, right? And does he feel like he's going through that? And sort of in a different way of saying what he said to you, he said, here's what we're trying to do. He goes, and call it philosophical if you want. We're trying to make sure these guys don't try to do the things they can't do.
Yeah.
If we harp on them about the things they're bad at, you got to be better at this. You got to take more walks. You got to take more walks. You got to take more walks. And then they don't take walks. He said, psychologically, they feel bad about everything. They're failing at this thing, which we know they're going to fail at anyway. So let's play to their strengths.
Yeah.
I followed it up with that. You just play into their strengths. He goes, 100%. Let's highlight what they can do and try to encourage them for the most part to just, Josh Young, don't try to hit the high fastball, right?
Yeah.
Lay off that pitch. You haven't ever caught up with it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Make them throw you something else.
Yeah, and it gets kind of tricky for like Jake Berger because he's really good on high fastballs. It's just differentiating how high,
right?
And hitters seem to know that he struggles down in the zone, or so stay away from those pitches.
Yes,
because you're not going to do a lot with them. So again, you're not necessarily changing hitters. You're not trying to remake their approach, but make them just incrementally better.
Yeah.
And while still, again, slugging in Berger's case, in Josh's case, hitting to all fields, which Justin said the numbers may not bear it out, but he was more of a right center focused guy last year, more like he was in college when they drafted him. And I recounted that to Justin, like, his power in college was to right center. And one of the first things they said the day they drafted him was he needed more pull side power. Well, he seems to have accomplished that.
Right. But
it seems maybe it's detrimental. I'm not sure. But those guys are working. Justin lives in Arizona, but he's getting constant video updates, regular dialogue with these guys. So I mean, it's hands on, and his probably his pet project is Jock Peterson.
It's interesting you say that
Yeah.
because I said to him, I go, and I just didn't think of Jock when I was asking the question. I said, are your two biggest projects your first baseman and your third baseman? Knowing that both Jake and Josh Young have to be better than they were last year, right? And he, went through, and he, as an initial part of the answer was, well, everybody's a project. I've got projects, we've all got projects. But then through the course of the answer, he brought up Jock Peterson.
Yeah.
Like, Jock Peterson's my biggest project here.
Yeah, and we talked to him. I talked to him about Jock because Kennedy and I had spoken to Jock at that Thanksgiving thing with in the waning hours of the Simeon era. And so Jock was very open about his struggles. Didn't want to hide from him. He said he's worked a lot with Justin, and they date to Jock's seasons in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of back and forth between those guys, and Justin Veely is buying on Peterson, and he knows Jock, and like we see Jock, he's totally laid back and doesn't do anything. And he said that Jock was beating himself up pretty good last year, trying to do too much after the initial 0 for 44 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh God.
Trying to get 10 hits with one at bat.
Right.
And it didn't work. But then they were encouraged by August, and thought that's the guy that could be the guy who and. He said that a determined and motivated Jock Peterson is something to behold. So, hopefully he's right.
Yes.
Because they're paying this guy a lot of money.
Yep.
And they paid him a lot of money last year, too, and that wasn't any good.
Yep, and it's guaranteed money, and he's not going anywhere. But to your point that you've made, before, if he starts off, in the first month, hitting 210, they got to do something, right?
But, I think if he hits 210, hey, that's like 180 points better than he did last April.
Heck of a point. Yeah.
No, but but it depends on the if it's 210 with a bunch of infield singles, there's a problem. But if he's driving the ball and doubles and hitting a couple balls over the fence, then I think they're seeing progress. And they also look at hard hit rate and exit velocities and all that stuff and expected average. They lean a little too much on expected average. So I think and Skip had hinted at this when the staff was first announced about, he's like, and Justin Veely, now he's finally going to get a chance to show all he can do.
Yeah.
And so when the question about which coach could make the biggest impact, I think it's going to start at the top with the guy who's in charge of the offense.
Yeah.
And, if he was friends with Donnie Ecker, and probably let Donnie take the lead. Plus, it was his first year. He's trying to get to know the hitters and all that stuff. And then, a month in, Donnie's gone, and here's Brett Boone, who's,
polar opposite.
Right, talking like, doesn't get into mechanics at all, and approach, which the Rangers needed 100%.
100%.
So I think Justin being at the top of the pecking order will be make a big impact.
Sure.
He has a chance at least to make a big impact. He also has a chance to take a hell of a lot of blame.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. And as far as the approach goes, Kelly, man, I'd say that the overall approach was well stated by Travis Jankowski when I just said to him, "What's your message when you're talking to all these players?" He said, "Intelligently aggressive."
Yeah.
Right, and that's what he was applying it to outfielding and to base running, which are the things he's going to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's that's a kind of, it's going to be a buzzword for everybody, right? Like, be aggressive, but make sure you're, being aggressive on a 95 mile an hour fastball up here isn't a great idea. Be intelligently aggressive. It's pitch selection. It's choosing, to steal at just the right time. It's going after to dive after that ball in the outfield, and run the risk of letting it get by you, right? You have to make wise decisions in each of those cases.
Yeah, and That's smart too. I mean,
Yeah.
you're prepared.
Yeah.
You understand the game plan, what opportunities there might be against any given pitcher. You know what your strengths are, and then you understand the game a little bit.
Sure.
You know, like Tom Greaves said, there's a runner at third with less than 2 outs, and you have 2 strikes on you. You got, and Tom like even demonstrated. He's like, you got to get your bat on the ball. So I mean, there's some of that too.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? I don't know. Let's go to.
We'll
break.
think about it, and we appreciate all your questions, prompting us too to remember. We got reams of data, all in a very short period, 30 minutes, basically 45 minutes. So anyway, lots to talk about. Let's keep doing it. It's the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Oh, no tear.
Hello, Ter.
Rip it off. All right.
Terry, there it is. Supporters Club. Join it, please, if you would. We'd love you to be a part of it. It is $15 or $5, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know if this is going behind that wall, but the skipper was running around asking us holiday questions, and it is.
Oh,
it's gonna
holiday questions. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
So we're gonna have that behind that mini paywall. I hate to even call it a wall. It's more like one of those little garden fences, right? It's not a paywall. It's a pay garden fence. You can hop over that with ease. $5 or $15 to be a member of the Supporters Club. There are obviously those emojis available if you join it too. And we try to give you as much cool, fun content from behind the scenes here at ALLCITY as we can. So join the Supporters Club. Show us that we know you support us because we see you there. And take one more step, a little higher level of support by joining that Supporters Club.
And then you will also heighten your sports knowledge if you are a recipient of our newsletter, which Ali does every day.
Yeah.
And you can just get it so easily. Go to our homepage, alldls.com, and you go to the very, very bottom, and there's a blank box there for you to enter your email address. You hit submit. That's all we want. No driver's license, no birth certificates, no 2 forms of identification. And today, the newsletter leads with George Pickens.
Yes.
I didn't realize there was a big kerfuffle going on with this guy. So, hey, it made me smarter already, you know?
Right.
And Cooper Flagg coming off of his big game. They returned to the floor tonight. Mikko Räikkönen is when he's not injuring goalies and other players, he's scoring amazing goals. And it's just a great time to catch up on your team by becoming a member of our newsletter. Yeah,
just get that thing delivered to your inbox, won't you? It's really easy, and it's a really wise idea. The Rangers also announced officially today the spring training schedule. Pitchers and catchers report February 10.
That's their first workout.
First workout is the 10th, so they're probably coming in on the 9th.
Yeah, I don't think there's an official report date anymore.
Okay. And then the first full squad workout is the 15th.
Yes.
And the first game is the 20th.
Yes.
Right? So 5-day increments. And Jeff's going to be there the 10th. And so what Kat and I are working on is to join him the 15th. She doesn't even know this yet. We want to join him.
Big lunch discussion.
Yeah, we want to join him on the 15th and stay to, then we'll all stay to the 20th.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the 20th.
Yeah. So cool. Anyway, that's the plan. And we'll keep you posted. Don't book. Jeff's going to be there, but don't book your tickets if you want to see the show out there yet.
Well, there'll be no games.
Yeah, true. So you probably want to go later. We might want to go later too.
Although it's nice. It's nice and quiet at the beginning.
It is, and you have a chance to just
really watch and work out
with guys and players and coaches.
Get good eyes on guys.
Yeah, and them on you. So
yeah, and it's a little chilly. I always tell people it can get chilly in Arizona
that time of year. I mean, that early February time. Yeah,
yeah. Really, it's not till mid-March where you're like, all right, I can wear shorts.
Yeah. One year I went up recently when I was at spring training. We had an off day or whatever, and it was early. It was at report time.
Yeah.
Maybe I went a day or two early. Drove up to the Grand Canyon, and it was beautiful. But I got out of there like as the snowstorm was moving in.
Yeah, it's like a plane taking off when you get out of Phoenix.
Yeah,
area,
man,
you
it
go
goes
straight up the hill
yeah.
to Flagstaff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a very, very worthy trip, and Leon's going the 18th. So
all right, I'll see you.
That's a good day to go. Here we go. Let's continue this. Other things that were announced today is the award winners that Jeff's known about for a while, but we didn't.
Well, I've only known about one of them.
Oh, you only knew about one?
Yes.
You knew about the Durrett.
Correct.
Yeah, because you're on the board.
Well, yeah.
So the Richard Durrett, hardest working ranger, is Jacob Latz.
Yeah.
And that's a great one. He worked very hard.
He did.
And I think when you're a young player, I don't want to, you don't want to minimize how hard it is to do what he did with sort of a foot in each camp, if you will, Jeff.
Right.
It's very, very difficult from a mindset standpoint to be a reliever and a starter in the same year, especially for a young pitcher.
Yeah, and these guys, Jacob is 29.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not as young as he is.
Right,
low in
experience.
Yeah.
And guys in his position, they don't have a choice. They got to do what they're told. They can't walk into the manager's office and say, "Hey, I'm starting," or else.
I ain't
okay, here's your else.
Yeah,
and so I think that he has stated though his preference would be to start. It's what he did early on in the minors. His major league debut was as a starting pitcher under unusual circumstances as a COVID fill-in in 2021. So he wants to start, and he works hard. You can tell. Just take a look at him, and you don't get in that kind of shape by sitting around and not doing anything. But it's a mental thing. As you need me to start today. Oh, okay. How many bullets do I have? Well, I don't know. I haven't started in 3 weeks, but I'll do what I can. And then, I pitched well enough to stay around. Okay, I got you. So Jacob Latz, Durrett Award winner. Very excited about that.
Absolutely. Let's work backwards now, since we started at the. I think, and this is the opposite order in which they'll be given out at the awards banquet on the Friday before FanFest. So it'll be January 23rd. But we'll work backwards. The Harold McKinney Good Guy Award goes to Jake Berger, and I can't think of a better
as a layup
guy.
That one was easy peasy.
Probably a unanimous selection.
I would think very close. Him or John Gray. Yeah.
Yeah, good point, John Gray.
But yeah, Jake with his daughter Penelope having Down syndrome, and the Berger Family Foundation. And for a guy in his first year with a team to step in and make an impact like that is very impressive.
Yeah, and what was really, really impressive to me was how in almost every visiting city, he met with the equivalent of the Berger Family Foundation, right?
Yeah.
Whichever one it was in that city. And there's a Down syndrome awareness group in every city. And it may, I don't know, maybe the Berger one is tied into a national organization as well. I'm not even sure about that. All I know is he had stops in almost every visiting city where he met with those people and honored their people, and so I love that.
Yeah, and on top of that, he was in the spotlight early on because he struggled.
Yep,
and he got sent down.
Yep,
and when he came back, he didn't shy away from any of the interviews, and always a good guy to talk to, and so. Yeah, that's part of the good guy too.
Yeah, it really is, and again, because it's a thing voted on by the members of the BBWA, the Baseball Writers Association.
And by God, we like it when people talk to us.
Yeah, that's fun. Jim Sundberg Community Achievement Award goes to Corey Seager, and he really did. That's about how much you do in the community, and he and his wife do a great job with that.
It's very behind the scenes, very hush hush.
Yeah.
Corey. We don't find out about it ahead of time. They don't make it a media event. Now, the Rangers will send their own media to record it and take photos, but I've never been to one of Corey Seager's charity events because he doesn't want us there.
Yeah.
And what he does is he helps kids get ready for school and taking them to an academy and letting them go shopping and things like that. So he does that a lot. He helps out the kids in West Dallas at the youth academy, and so good for him and good for Maddie. He's also the past 2 years, this year might have been the first one, dedicated and given time to do it for Durrett, and
nice,
through like a little meet and greet with a winner for an auction item, and they've both raised outrageous amounts of money.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So anyway,
cool. Yeah. Rookie of the year is probably almost a no-brainer, and I was surprised.
Yeah, that was a layup too.
I was surprised we didn't get much in the way of more national attention on this guy. Jack Leiter, Rookie of the Year. Like I said, Skip Schumacher said, look at his numbers from the second half of the season. He was among the best pitchers in the league in the second half. He did a great job. And I don't want to say it was shocking, but it was a little surprising. I mean, there was a time when everybody was healthy, we were wondering if maybe he was going to start the season in the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
And then the injuries began to happen, and so he got the nod as one of the starters, and then it was like, oh my God, great. We're not even thinking bullpen anymore, and now probably never will.
No, and to your point, at the start of spring training, he was competing to be a long man in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Then the injuries happen. It's like, okay, Jack Leiter's in the rotation.
Right.
Who else is going to join him?
Right.
And he, when you get the opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. His first start was wonderful at Cincinnati. It was shortened because of a blister that put him on the injured list. And there were some first half bumps, I would say. But then the second half, it just got better and better. He started to trust his stuff in the strike zone. And we saw, and we've mentioned this many times, how, you would see a shot of the dugout, and it'd be Leiter just sitting there listening to Eovaldi and DeGrom.
He'd be between them.
Yeah, and he, Jack has said that a lot of what he picked up in the second half was from Jacob. Jacob can throw a pitch in the strike zone, and not a lot of people are going to hit it. And I think that was always Jack's fear, but he started to realize that his stuff plays when it's in the strike zone.
Sure, absolutely, because that's certainly a fear, right?
Yeah.
Throw too many strikes and they hit him, but not if you have, sort of play, location. With those pitches within the strike zone. So, really good for him. And Tom Grieve on our show the other day was just kind of running down, who was what and all that. And he said, that in his mind, and Tom sees things, that's amazing. He had, again, 55 years in baseball, 55 in the Rangers organization. He said, Jack Leiter can be a number one. He can be the ace of a staff. Tom doesn't think Kumar Rocker has that, but he believes Jack Leiter can be an ace. So that's cool. The co-pitchers of the year, I guess if you're going to tell me there are co-pitchers, I'd say that's a no-brainer too. It's, Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi. And I could have, in this case, in this instance, I think it could have easily been Nathan Eovaldi, numbers-wise. That said, he didn't pitch as much. Jacob deGrom pitched all season, so I got no problem with co-pitchers of the year.
I don't remember there being co-award winners.
I don't either.
Since I've been on the beat.
I don't think so.
I don't. Obviously, an even number of people vote on this, so I don't know. I don't know where it came out.
Well,
I do think though that there were some people who voted for Eovaldi as the Player of the Year.
Okay,
and so that might have led to some interesting tabulations by whoever came up with these final results.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, pretty wild there, pretty obvious there.
Yeah, obvious.
Say.
Yeah,
and then Player of the Year, Wyatt Langford, who is just a 24-year-old and becomes the first Ranger to claim the Player of the Year award in his age 23 or younger season. So when you consider some of the young players the Rangers have had, Pudge Rodriguez, Juan Gonzalez, Ruben Sierra, that's pretty good company. I mean, it's a pretty strong statement.
Sure. And I think if Corey Seager stays healthy, Corey wins the Player of the Year for the fourth straight year. But he played only 104 games, and Wyatt, while he wasn't exactly a picture of health, was on the field more, was a 20-20 guy, and he has room to improve. And Chris Young said it. Was it yesterday we talked to Chris Young that they think that Wyatt Langford's going to be a superstar, and then he said if he isn't already. He does a lot, that Wyatt Langford. Can play center field and left field. He was a Gold Glove finalist, 2 years after everybody thought left field would eat him alive.
Yep.
And so lo and behold, now there's talk about him being the center fielder every day. Yeah, that's a pretty easy choice. That is who I voted for. But again, not a lot of great candidates.
Not this year.
I don't want to say he was the best of a bad bunch because he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't like we're sorting between Gehrig and Roof. And,
right.
It
wasn't the 27 Yankees.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder to decide. Maybe it wasn't, but it could have been a lot harder to decide in, let's say 23. And yeah, it was. I mean, you had, Adolis in consideration. You had
Marcus.
Obviously Corey and Marcus,
Sure,
at very least, and
yep.
maybe more. So anyway, that's the award winners. That ceremony is something you can get a ticket to if you pay for it through the Rangers. But it's on January 23rd is the night of the awards banquet. The day before FanFest, which is on January the 24th at Globe Life Field. So more coming up. It's our cleanup segment as we roll on. Things are flying by today on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Yeah, flying by. We've had a lot to talk about here lately, a lot of writing on all of our beats. We got 3 teams that are in season, and then, the off season is called the Hot Stove League in baseball, and the Rangers have been pretty active. And so to get access to all of what we write at DLS, you need to be a diehard. And you can do that by scanning the QR code or going to our homepage where there are multiple links to take you to the promised land. For $80, $79.99 actually. Let me try that again, $79.99. You get, like I said, access to everything, 20% off of our merchandise, 20% off of our events, early access to our events. And momentum is building for a Rangers event this year, in 2026. And we couldn't be happier about that. So become a diehard, get your card, learn the handshake, and you won't regret it. I guarantee that.
Yeah, that's a great point. You won't regret that, nor will you regret picking up some merchandise. Like, for sure, you won't regret getting a free T-shirt from becoming a diehard. And you go to store.allcitynetwork.com in order to get a look at all the merchandise that we have, and it's plentiful and it's fantastic. And we encourage you to check in on it. There are the 5 hats now, 4 new ones, and the one that Jeff's got. Yeah, the one that Jeff's got is not shown there, but it's available, obviously. And then those 4 new ones, which are all fantastic. One's coming to the Radigan household soon. I got the notice today. So will I be wearing it, or will I be showing you pictures of my son in it? I don't know. It depends on how it fits my huge melon. But in the meantime, you should get it because your head will accommodate a hat, unlike mine. So store.allcitynetwork.com.
Hey, Benny brought up, I'm looking forward to the return of Cody Bradford sometime in May.
Mm-hmm.
Funny you say that, because Cody Bradford was on the field today during our get together.
Yeah,
and was throwing, not throwing a bullpen, but he was playing catch with Brendan Segura, the former co-pitching coach and the pitch shape specialist who the Rangers like to keep around. Nice guy. But yeah, so Cody was pumping today.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good to know. I didn't see him down there, so
I think he finished right before you got there.
Did he? Okay. Yeah, good notice. And how about that? It was funny. Someone just mentioned the pitcher of the year in the World Series year isn't even on the team anymore. Gallagher Champ says Dane's still available. I don't know that it'll be a Ranger, but is Dane done? I mean, is he done?
No, he was with the Braves, right?
Last year? Okay. So I'd like him to be somewhere. I like Dane a lot.
We like Dane a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he took free agency, I missed it because he was, I don't know. He had been optioned.
Guess looking. We'll double check this. But yeah, and I don't know if Benny, I don't know if the Rangers will consider Cole for a starter again. I think there would be a greater consideration of Cole as a closer, right? Maybe.
Well, I don't think he's going to close right away.
No, I don't mean that. Yeah.
But
he's got that.
I think the door is eventually open to both because Dane Dunning is a free
Dane's
agent.
a free agent. Okay,
well,
thank
Cole
you.
Winn, I've asked, you ask these questions, and they're open to it. He throws 4 different pitches.
Yeah.
The key for Dane, or not for Dane, for Cole has always been, first pitch strikes, being ahead in the count, because then he can go to his other pitches. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen. But he can get it up to 98 as a reliever, which Rangers can use some of that.
Yeah, they can.
And Martin Perez is still available. Thank you, Cordua. I love Martin Perez, and that would be fantastic if they brought him back from a personal standpoint only.
Is he 50 yet? No, I'm teasing. He's not that old.
Shoot, he's probably 35.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But he's got to be older than that.
Well, I met him in 08 when he was 17.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. He got here so young.
Yeah.
That maybe he is only 35. All right. In the cleanup segment, big news on the USA pitching staff. Tarek Skubal and Mason Miller have both agreed to join the staff, which leaves the starting pitching rotation looking like this. And this was not our decision. It was MLB on Fox to put them in this order, but Skubal, then Skeens. But it could probably go either way. Skeens, then Skubal, right? But either way, Jeff, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch, followed by Joe Ryan, Clay Holmes, Nolan McLean, Matthew Boyd. And here's the frustrating and annoying part. Minus just one of those, and I'm not sure which. That is going to be the Dodgers starting rotation in 4 years, right?
Probably,
so, shoot, But no, you can't go wrong with that 1-2 punch of Skubal and Skeens, can you?
Yeah, they're the reigning Cy Young winners in each league. So,
right.
Advantage Team USA.
And again, a bold move on the Skubal camp, right? Because again, we know you can get hurt during the season too, but in your free agent year to join the Team USA, I like that. I'm a big fan, Tarek. That's cool. Thank you. And Mason Miller to close things out. Fun. It's going to be a great team. I just think it's going to be a great tournament. We showed you the Dominican Republic team just the other day. So this year in the just before the minor league season begins, which is usually April 15th, or is it May 1st, the minor league season begins?
Well, I mean, the AAA season starts like a couple days after
just a couple days.
The big league season now, because they've expanded the AAA season. It's like 150-something games. So then the other 3 will start like the next week.
All right, let me see if I can get a date on this game. Oh, it's going to take place on April 30th in the famous Joliet prison, which was made famous by the Blues Brothers
Jake
movie.
and Elwood.
Jake and Elwood. Joliet Jake and Elwood Blues. And the Joliet Slammers are a minor league team, and they are going to host the Big House Ball Game on April 30th, and it gives fans a chance to go see a baseball game in the correctional facility where the game was played by inmates for 88 years, Jeff. 80. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why it looks familiar. Yeah. So that is famous from movies, and that team is owned by the Veck family.
So it all makes sense now.
Right. So it's Bill Veck. The current owner is the grandson of Bill Veck, the son of Mike Veck, and known only as Night Train Veck. So Night Train Veck. But also, I'll tell you who else owns that team in addition to the Veck family. One Bill Murray, who was not a part of the Blues Brothers, but knew the guys who were pretty darn well. So
yeah, probably did drugs with them.
Yeah. Anyway, probably did. Anyway, that's on April 30th. Other promotions that the Slammers have done during one game last season, and this is the Vex and their crazy creative blow-up disco demolition night, all that kind of stuff. Shorts for your uniforms 1 year. Last year, the Slammers dropped 2,600 hot dogs. Just dropped them from a helicopter to a sellout crowd. So, that's
all right.
There was probably a little fighting over them hot dogs. But anyway.
When in 6th grade, myself and my good buddy Steen, Steen, we were the Blues Brothers.
Were you really?
Yeah, he was
cool.
He was Elwood and I was Jake.
Yeah.
I mean, he was tall and skinny.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't
You weren't porky.
robust.
Yeah.
I wasn't huge, but I was no Elwood.
Yeah.
So anyway, and who's older, Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray? Trivia. I just looked it up.
Or Bill Murray. I would say Bill Murray.
Bill Murray by 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
John Belushi dead a long time.
Yeah. Very, very dead.
Yeah.
So it sucks being a rookie, as three actually, of the Mets rookies learned at the annual New York Mets holiday party. Nolan McLean, Jonah Tong, and Brandon Sproat are there as elves, Jeff. In the New York area, they probably could have roamed the streets. They look, speaking of former Saturday Night Live guys, they look a little bit like Elf, don't they?
Yeah. I was thinking Gumby, but
Gumby too.
Yeah,
I'm Gumby, damn it. But I like Will Ferrell's Elf. That's
very good.
Not
very
my
good
favorite
show.
Christmas movie, but I like it. The winner's share of the World Series is always an interesting look, and again, it can be huge depending on how many people, the 26 players essentially, get to vote on how many shares this pot of money will be divided into. The total pot this year was $128.2 million, which is a little bit less than last year's record of $129. But anyway, so you're starting with $128.2 million. Part of it goes to the winners, part of it goes to the losers. So Dodgers and Blue Jays, and the Dodgers decided to share their share with 82 people.
Full shares?
Full shares.
That's pretty
80,
good.
It's a big number. 82 people got full shares of $484,774. So basically,
here's the big
$500,000.
question: how much of that is deferred?
I see what you did there, and it's a good question.
Now the Rangers are very generous with when they dished out mostly full shares. Not a lot of partial shares in there. And for the players, $500,000 is like.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
but
for the young players, but for the support staff,
Man.
for the athletic trainers and the massage therapists and
Yeah.
the bullpen
And
catchers,
I remember
that's a lot of money.
when they went in 10 and 11, and I'm about to tell you the losers share this year, which is nothing to sneeze at this year or those years. But there were people who got the losers share, the full share, and one in particular, and I won't mention his name, but he was on the coaching staff or support staff, I suppose. He got a full share. He stopped after 11. He's like, I'm set.
Yeah.
I've got that money as over here, and it's going to take care of, so many things that I needed to take care of, and I'm done, And
there are people who are buying houses in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what our buddy Hoggy did.
Yeah.
Hoggy bought a house.
Bought low when the market was bad. And
yep.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have to ask Hoggy if he still has that house out there.
I doubt it.
Probably not. Probably sold it.
Maybe
losers share this year for the Blue Jays. They shared it with 70 people.
Okay.
So not quite as big of a support staff as the Dodgers have, but probably not surprising. $345,118.
Here comes another money joke, John.
Okay.
What's the exchange rate on that?
It's a good
Thank
one.
you very much.
It's a good one. He's here all night.
all week.
Don't forget
That's
to
right.
tip your waitresses. And finally tonight, I want to brag a little bit on my niece, who is in the Dominican Republic this time of year. Of course, a lot of Americans are there this time of year. It's a fun time to go to the Dominican Republic. And so my niece is there, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But one of her free nights in the Dominican Republic, my niece Katie, there in the middle, decides to go to a game, baseball
Katie's got
game.
A great smile.
Yeah, a baseball game in the Dominican Republic. And let me just see here what Katie told me was the two teams that were playing, that were competing on the field.
Uncle John.
Yeah, it was the Estrellas
Oh, yeah.
Orientales.
Estrellas and Licey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Tigres del Licey.
Yeah, Licey and Estrellas. That's
the two
They're more
biggies?
common terms.
Okay.
Licey's always seems to always have the best players, but keep telling your story.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw the picture. It just came to me, and I'm looking, where the heck is she? And, she's got Ranger fans in front of her. Anyway, she's in the Dominican Republic. She bumps into these two guys, sees Ranger gear. Now, she goes to this game by herself because the people she's with didn't care about baseball, but she's she got Radigan blood in her, by God. She's a fan. So anyway, she sees these guys. Hey, you guys might know my uncle. And they, oh, God, that's so cool. And they took the picture with her. What is she doing there, you ask? Well, let me show you what my niece Katie is doing there. She's in her second year of medical school. And as part of that, they go out to a, basically it's like one of these mission trips, if you will. And they're actually serving various communities called Batayes, Bateyes. Batayes, yeah. Sugarcane plantation workers. It's truly the poorest of the poor. Many are Haitian refugees displaced by violence. They go to 3 different communities while here and see a lot of patients. She says, today we saw 100 patients. It's the most amazing thing I've done in my life. And all the babies, she says, are the best part. So hats off to my niece.
And if you've been to the Dominican Republic, but you've only been to Punta Cana, you have not been to the Dominican Republic.
No. It's a very, very poor area. And so very proud of her for 2 things, that she went to the game when she had a free night, and then that she's doing what she's doing to help people. And then I told her in the text too, but my favorite thing about the whole picture, the one at the game, there's a 16-ounce can of Presidente. Are you kidding me?
Man.
Presidente is my favorite beer, and here in the States, I've never even seen it in a 12-ounce can.
You can probably walk out of the stadium there with a...
You probably can.
Yeah. All right.
16-ounce can of Presidente.
Nice.
Woo! Man, the heart shudders.
That's
all right.
It's a Christmas gift, John.
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving. All right, that's going to do it. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We always do, and we get to do it again tomorrow. We've got 3 days the following week, but first things first, tomorrow at another edition of the DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.